Go back to the corner. It's the corner. CFB channel. Let's get right off into this, man. Malik Willis. Pro Day. He was extremely good. Listen, let me start off with this. People think I hate this guy. I don't hate nothing. I don't hate this guy. I don't like the fact that people hype him up to be something that he's not. I don't like that because it's hype. It's not tape. A lot of people say if you look at the tape, well, if you actually look at the tape, there's way more bad than there ever was good with Malik Willis. If you looked at the tape, so you can't tell somebody look at the tape. And then a lot of people, they go based off what these experts say, which they're not really experts because a lot of them honestly don't know what they're talking about. You're telling the tape, Malik Willis has way more bad tape than he does good. That's the truth of the matter. But after looking at him, like I follow all these quarterbacks. After looking at his college football season 1, Senior Bowl practices, Senior Bowl game. What I left from the Senior Bowl game was the same thing I left from watching his tape in college. His throwing is a question mark. His ability to play the quarterback position is a question mark. Yes, I hear people say, "Oh, he was the most impressive. He had the most impressive game at the Senior Bowl." How? All he did was run. We know, which is why he didn't run a 40 in the combine or in his pro day, because we know he can run. So that wasn't impressive. It's just hype. They putting hype and they're trying to push him, which I get and I understand, but that's not truth. I'm gonna give it to you straight, uncut. I'm gonna give it to you straight. I'm not about to push somebody's name. Yeah. What I see is what you're gonna get. I'm not about to help you up your draft stock just by trying to add extra. No, either you put it on tape or you not. I'm not about to just add something magical onto it that they do. They don't even go off the tape. They just start adding magical stuff. Like, no. Anyway, his pro day I liked, and I liked it a lot. And that's going from a lot of people go like, oh, he like that. Listen, I'll say this about Malik Willis. I still believe that he'll be better served than a Taysom Hill-like role in the NFL. But I don't think he's a backup in the NFL anymore. I think Malik Willis could be a top 15 quarterback in the NFL. Now listen, it's going to take him 3 years. I said 4. It's going to take him 3. Looking at his pro day, what it showed me was, I'll break it down, but what it showed me was that he was further along than I thought he would be. Like, he progressed to this point. And I liked a lot of things that I've seen. And I'll tell y'all some of the things I like and some of the things I just can't stand. But he showed me his willingness to learn, his willingness to grasp, to get better. I've seen a lot of those things at his pro day. And now one thing I also seen that jumped out at me more was his character. When his players dropped the ball, he said, "Wipe it off." I mean, wipe it down. I mean, what's the term we use? Wipe it off. I guess that's what it means. I'm probably saying it totally wrong, but wipe it off. Like, get it out your head. You good. Don't worry about it. That means a lot to me, especially as far as a quarterback's concerned. Because when you're looking at a quarterback and leadership, that helps players get better, and that's a trait that he has. The ability to help the players around him get better. That little trait of saying, "Don't worry about it," that'll help boost the player's confidence. That makes them better, and they'll be able to perform better. So that's the thing that's popped off into me. And when you analyzing these things, you have to take those things into consideration as well as when you talking about a quarterback and with any player to begin with, but mainly the quarterback position. So I was impressed with that. He's a very energetic guy. Teammates love him. That means a lot. That means a lot, especially for a franchise. So when I look at that, when I go to this game, one of the things I like, he's great at throwing the deep ball. Deep routes, he's good at. Phenomenal at. And when they went to the red zone throws, he was elite. He has elite red zone potential as far as throws. I mean, the back shoulder throws that he was throwing was fantastic to me. Like, I was like, oh, and it was all pretty much on the money. It was a couple throws, I'll get into that, but had a couple fade off the fade route. I'm like, ooh, over the shoulder throws in the red zone. I'm like, okay. And that's what let me believe, like, you know what? He has arm talent. But it's not with everybody. He's not Josh Allen. He will never be Patrick Mahomes. He will never be Justin Herbert. He will never be Joe Burrow. He's not those guys. And that's not his ceiling. And he doesn't have a ceiling that high. I don't see that. He's a top 15 quarterback. People trying to say, oh, his ceiling is so high. No, it's not. He has a top 15 ceiling, and that's okay. That's okay. But the things that I didn't like is he struggles throwing outside of numbers. Um, struggles throwing with anticipation. Um, outside of a go route and the fade routes and over the shoulders, like he struggles with every other route that you have to throw to. Deep post corners, especially the out routes, struggles with that. It's like I said, he has the same problem with a lot of these quarterbacks for whatever reason. They struggle with being able to throw that ball before that receiver gets their head around it. In the NFL, they play way faster. That ball has to be out before they turn their head around. And that's what I try to look for mostly in quarterbacks, especially especially at pro days, because it's no defender there. So there's no reason for you not. I mean, you should always throw before that ball gets there, before they're able to get their head around. Always. That way it arrives on time. By the time they turn around, that ball's already there in the breadbasket. And they can either, like I say, turn it up the field, or they can get down, and move on to the next play. That's what he struggled with. But throwing outside of the numbers, he struggles with. He struggles with out routes. Struggle with slants. He showed better touch today. But even still on some throws, he throws the ball at like 100 miles per hour. In the NFL, you're going to get picked off that way. Especially, it's going to be more contact. You can't throw the ball at 100 miles per hour on the slant. He needs to take a lot off his throws. He struggles with dig routes. He struggles with a lot of, throwing inside, outside. The deep throws, fade routes over the shoulders, he has it. It's the other things. And that's why I believe it's going to take him a while and take him 3 years. But I see it. It's there. I don't see Patrick Mahomes and what people trust that Herb, or he can, no. But he's third on my quarterback board. Ritter, Howe, Willis. Kenny Pickett drops because he just has more potential than Pickett. The more safer pick would be Pickett out of those two guys. But he's going to be better than Pickett. Put it that way. But that's my thoughts on Willis. I'm very impressed with what I've seen. But like I say, he's going to show me more so in the game. Because all that can be fine and dandy, but in the game, I mean, even at his pro day, it still shows the same with the tape. He's good at throwing deep routes. And he's good at throwing. Actually, the tape really doesn't show much on his, over the shoulders in the fade routes. At the goal line is mostly him running in most majority of the time. But seeing that, I want to see how that should translate. It really should, because he throws a beautiful fade route and over the shoulder. And back shoulder throw. Well, not back shoulder, over the shoulder. But I mean, he's cool. It's cool. I'm impressed with Willis. And he's my third quarterback on my board. He can be a top 15 quarterback in the league. That's his potential. Is he the best quarterback in this draft class? Not even close. He's a third behind Ritter and Howe in that particular order. Ritter and Howe has top 5 QB potential. He just has top 15. He ain't those dudes. But like, comment, subscribe, let me know in the comments. And guess what? We gonna catch y'all later. Oh yeah.